Hello, good evening. So this is a short lesson that we are going to have this evening. In that we are concluding this particular topic called organic chemistry. Then we start revising from the back there, where we'll start now with a supersonic speed till we also do the organic chemistry for the second time. So we've finished this particular syllabus for chemistry today, and this is the last thing we are doing. We are going to end with what we are get to call natural macromolecules. I told you that they are in two, so molecules like this. This is the last thing that we are ending with in this particular session. So I want you people to follow me clearly, especially that this is the last topic that we are doing. And the last session, the next time we start chemistry, we are going to do what? We are going to be starting from the beginning. What is matter? All those things. We are going to come with a supersonic speed. So there'll be more like intensive sessions. So when we are looking at natural macromolecules, you are supposed to understand that these ones are known as what? Natural polymers. That's the same as calling them what? Natural polymers. So they're just the same as what? Natural polymers. What are natural polymers? Natural polymers, these are polymers that get to occur in what? In living organisms. These ones get to occur in what? In living organisms. This is what you have to understand. They occur in what? Living organisms. So when we say natural polymers, these are occurring naturally in what? Living organisms. We did synthetic, which is in two. We said there is addition and there is what? Condensation. When we come to natural now, this is another part now. So this is where we end from, and this lesson is very short. So I've told you that they occur in what? Living organisms. What are now examples of what? What are examples? I'll say examples of what? Examples of natural polymers. So what are examples of natural what? Natural polymers. We looked at them under condensation, but we are just making sure that we put cement on the foundation that we already have. One, we are supposed to know that there is proteins. Two, you are supposed to know that there are fats there. And lastly, you are supposed to understand that they get to be what? Carbohydrates. So these are called carbohydrates. So these ones are called carbohydrates. This is it, and I want you to know them clearly. Have you seen? So these are examples of natural polymers. We've got proteins, fats, carbohydrates. I guess you're able to follow me clearly. And you are writing down the notes. You are supposed to make sure that you are writing down the notes and trying to understand each and every point that I'm explaining here. So I'll just talk about this, and that, then we are done. These are short things, and this is something very short. Let us start with proteins. So I guess you've written this. We start with what? Proteins. So when we move to proteins, so we move to proteins. So I'm going to say proteins. So we move to what? We move to proteins. So what are these proteins? You need to understand that proteins are made by what? These ones are made by what we get to call condensation polymerization. So they are made by what? They are made by condensation polymerization. This is what you are supposed to get. So they are made by what? Condensation polymerization. The good part is that the condensation polymerization, we've already covered it. So it's not something that you are hearing for the very first time, unless the people that are joining this class for the first time, I can understand on those people. But those of you that have been with me the past 2 lessons, we are together here. And the new students, don't worry about anything. Everything is going to be covered before your exams. So these proteins are made by condensation, polymerization. And you also, since they are made by condensation, polymerization, these ones, they are what we get to call, so you need to understand that they are what? They are polyamide. So we get to call them what? Polyamide. They are polyamide because they are like what? Like neons. I told you the neons, I explained that. So you discover that the structure of these two are similar. So they are what? Polyamide. Like what? Like neon. Because they contain what? Amide linkages. So because they may ask you, why is it that a protein is a polyamide linkage like neon? Because it contains what? Amide linkages. It contains amide linkages. So I'm going to say because, so you write in full, not like this. You're supposed to write in full. Because they do what? They contain. So I'll say because they contain what? They contain amide what? Amide linkages. This is what you are supposed to understand. Those of you that don't like submitting the work, you discover that when sometimes when a person submits, I'll even tell them the correct answers. So if it happens that you are not submitting, you discover that, okay, this work we are not revising, this work we are not revising, but I know that the people that submitted, I even gave them answers. So let's just make sure that we keep on submitting. So this is it that you need to understand. So I want you to understand that protein hydrolysis result in what? Amino acid. This is what you need to understand. So when protein undergo hydrolysis, so I'll say protein hydrolysis. So protein hydrolysis gets to result in what? Gets to result in amino acid. These things we know them. So they get to result in what? Amino acid. This is what you need to get. And these ones have got similar structure like what? Neons. So once you know the structure for neon, you know the structure for what? For a protein. It is just as simple as that. We move to fats. So let us move to fats. We go to fats. What are fats now? You have to understand that these ones are what? These ones are complex esters. That gets to be what? That gets to be formed from fatty acid. These ones get to be formed from where? From fatty acid. They get to be formed from fatty acids and something that is called glycoside. So glycoside, just like this. So these are two things that you have to know, two things that you get to understand, just like this. So they get to be formed from these ones and these, just like this. So they are complex esters formed from these two. This is what you need to understand. You discover that these fats that we are talking about, so you have to understand that the fats that we are talking about have a what? The fats here have the what? Have the structure. They get to have the what? They have the structure to the structure for what? Structure for terrarin. So I'll say the structure for what? For terrarin. I guess you know what a terrarin is. And a what? And a polycarbonate. So I'll say and a what? A polycarbonate. I'll say a polycarbonate. So this is it. Just like this. This is the simplest. You're just knowing this. There is even nothing to draw here because everything is already drawn. So this is it. I guess you are able to follow this particular lesson. It is a short and simple lesson that I want you to get. Let us proceed now and look at carbohydrates. the last thing we are going to do, then we say bye to organic chemistry, even the entire syllabus. We finished the syllabus now. It is now time to revise through. We finished physics. We are going pushing. Even this one we are finishing today, tonight. So I want you to get this. We move to what? Carbohydrates now. So we move to carbohydrates. Let us move to what? Carbohydrates. What are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are sugars. You need to understand that these are what? These are sugars which get to include. They are sugars which include what? You discover that they are going to include what we get to call the starch and what? And cellulose. So they are going to include the starch and the cellulose. So they are sugars that include starch and cellulose. Carbohydrates are sugars that are including these two things. You discover that carbohydrates are formed from simple sugars like what? Glucose. So you have to understand that these carbohydrates, so when I say these carbohydrates are what? Are formed. The carbohydrates are formed from where? From simple. So I'll say they are formed from simple sugars. They get to be formed from simple sugars like what? Like glucose. This is what you have to understand. Like what? Like glucose. Example of a sugar which is like a glucose. We talk of this. It is just like this. So just put a shaded box like that. You put a shaded box here. Then you put OH here. Even this side you put H what? HO. So this, it is just like this. This is a sugar. So this is a structure for what? Sugar or glucose. It is like this. Have you seen? This is how it is. When we go to starch, when we say, okay, this is starch, we just get to have O, then we've got shaded box there, then we've got O, we've got shaded box there, just like that. So this is a what? A starch. So these things are so simple, and you just have to understand them just like this. This is the simplest lesson that I guess you are going to come across. Just like this, natural polymers. These are just simple. Mostly you just understand them. Questions in an exam, they just touch here and there, just like that. So I want you people to know these things, and I want you to be able to answer even questions that will be coming in your exams. I guess you are writing down the notes. You are supposed to make sure that you are writing down the notes. Let us now look at starch hydrolysis. So we look at what? We look at starch hydrolysis. We move to starch hydrolysis. We look at starch what? Starch hydrolysis. So when we are talking about starch hydrolysis, we know that starch is like this. This is how it is. So shaded like this, we've got O here. So when it undergo hydrolysis, what we are going to form this side is a glucose, which is like this, H, like this. Then we get to have a shaded box there. We say OH there. This is what? This is glucose. As simple as that. So these things are just like simple. I guess you've even seen how we've handled this. So here we say bye to organic chemistry. This is a last session we are having in chemistry. We finished. Next time when we start, we are going to start with the basics. So we are going to do the basics. We are going to start with the basics, where we'll be moving at a faster rate. We need to make sure that these months that are remaining, we push and move till we reach organic chemistry for the second time. That's why I say those of you that joined, everything will be covered. Let's just make sure that we stick around. Let's just make sure that we keep studying. I've been telling you that me, I'm a bridge This is you. So we say end. This is the end of topic. End of what? Topic called organic chemistry. We finished this. And those of you whose payment has expired, I don't want to disturb anyone. This is the number you get to use for payments. So you can just send your tuition fee to this number. Then you drop a screenshot of your payment. I don't want to disturb you. So let's just make sure that we keep studying. So this marks the end. And let's make sure that we push now. So we are going to push till we reach this one. And I need to make sure that you get to understand this. I've told you that I'm a bridge. This is you are here. And this bridge that is here, this is where I am. So this is what? This is Harrison. And this is your distinction. Your distinction is here. So for you to get a distinction that is here, it takes your effort. That is why I say, if you put in the same energy that I get to put in, these things are very simple. You study, make sure you are revising through, going through the notes and everything. The problem that you people get to have, which I've noticed, you want to know a lot of things in a short period of time. And wanting to know a lot of things, it's more like confusing you. Someone wants to start today, the person wants me to forward the lessons that we've covered in the past. Person wants to continue with what we are doing. So you want to get a lot of things. By the end of the day, you are just becoming more confused. That is why I don't share the past videos that we've done. If you are to start, you start from here, and I make sure that everything we've done in the past, you get to revise through. So just make sure that a content of the information that you get to have, you've understood it, and you're able to answer questions that will come in an exam in relation to that particular topic that you know. Not whereby you want to know acid, salts, and bases. You want to know you want metals and non-metals. What else we are doing organic chemistry, and you can't answer questions under organic chemistry. Then you are not doing yourself any favor. This I've seen in students. Students who want to finish the syllabus, but if you give them a test from the things that you've covered, they fail to answer again. So let's just make sure that we don't neglect the information that we have. Treasure the information that you have, and this will help you get a distinction. This is where we end from. I'll see what I can do if I'll push in an exercise in the group that you are going to attend to. So this is where we end from. Thank you so much for your attention. Next time we meet, we start from the foundation or the basics. Thank you.